BMW Motorrad is back to its favorite game of automotive striptease, choosing the ultra-exclusive Concorso di Eleganza Villa DS to drop a heavily shadowed teaser of its next concept. Scheduled for a May 15th unveil on the shores of Lake Como, the brand's PR machine asks if we are ready for the extraordinary, while offering nothing but a blackened silhouette of abnormally elongated proportions. It is a familiar playbook for the Bavarian marque, utilizing the manicured lawns of Como not just for heritage flexing, but as a heavily curated runway to gauge public appetite for their upcoming production behemoths. Stripping away the deliberate obscurity of the teaser reveals a motorcycle that is unapologetically massive, boasting a sloping tail straight out of the pure cruiser bagger manifesto. Yet, a closer inspection of the pixels hints at a puzzling contradiction. The absence of a high touring windshield and the presence of low-slung semi-handlebars suggest an aggressive, sporty geometry masquerading within a touring frame. Sharp LED headlights and elongated taillights peek through the gloom, but the total blackout of the engine bay and chassis is a highly calculated move, designed less to protect intellectual property and more to fuel the industry's rumor mill. The imposing dimensions leave us with a very narrow, albeit fascinating, list of powertrain and chassis specs to scrutinize. BMW practically has only two current engines that wouldn't look completely swallowed by a motorcycle of this caliber. The silken 160 horsepower, 1649cc inline-six from the K1600 lineage, or the massive 1802cc big boxer yanked from the somewhat polarizing R18 family. Furthermore, the deliberate obfuscation leaves the suspension architecture utterly ambiguous, forcing analysts to guess whether this new concept will rely on the iconic telelever, the dual-lever, or the paralever to manage what is undoubtedly a tremendous amount of mass. The truly critical variable, and the only one that genuinely justifies this level of corporate secrecy, is the persistent industry murmur of a colossal 2000cc boxer twin, supposedly destined for an upcoming A20. If BMW is using this Villa DS concept to backdoor the premiere of a 2-liter flat twin, it shifts this narrative from a mere design exercise to a seismic technical disruption. Such unprecedented displacement for the Bavarian catalogue would be a groundbreaking technical innovation, instantly rendering current European maxicruiser benchmarks obsolete. However, a healthy dose of historical cynicism is required here, as we have undeniably seen this exact scenario play out before. 11 years ago, in May 2015, BMW used this very stage to shock the bourgeois crowd with the Concept 101, an extreme K1600 base maxibagger that safely morphed into the €27,290 production K1600B just 2 years later. While the 2026 silhouette eerily echoes the overall proportions of that 2015 stunt, the real metric of success won't be found in the styling, but in whether BMW is actually pushing technological and dimensional boundaries, rather than merely recycling an 11-year-old formula with updated LED jewelry. The truth will inevitably be dragged into the light on the evening of May 15, 2026. What BMW ultimately rolls onto the Como gravel needs to be more than just a conceptual tease. It needs to be a definitive statement of intent for series production. If the cover comes off to reveal that rumored 2-liter boxer, the Bavarians won't just be entering the heavyweight arena, they will be declaring all-out war on the entrenched large American baggers that have complacently dominated the segment for decades.